Ba 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 ba. There we go. Okay, good morning. Okay, just making sure that the stuff and things is all set up properly. Okay. Okay, I should probably add Godot to the list of Twitch tags. So Godot programming, coding noob. That'll work. Okay, let's see if that updated properly. Hey. Okay. English, game development, ideas welcome, Godot, programming, coding noob. Okay, that seems accurate. Okay, go ahead and pause the previews so they're not constantly playing. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of you. Get rid of. Okay, one thing that I don't like in Godot is that if you already have a node selected and then you click it again, it highlights the text to change it. When every other program in existence, even if you already have a thing highlighted, you have to double click it. And I don't. Yeah. Um. Okay, let's go ahead and change. Okay, so body and collision is both capsule. Then let's go to the player script. Because I do think. I won't delete this just yet. Okay, I don't know the Oh, is there no way to block comment? I mean, I guess you can, like, you can control K to do that, but all that does is just put, like, a single, like, hashtag in front of it, which does do the job. But I would prefer, like, where you just have, like, an indicator at the top and bottom, because that would make it much easier to undo. Hmm. Okay, well, let's go ahead and first just see if we can get the game to spawn the player. Okay, test level. Child. Okay. Okay, go dot add child from dot tscn. Okay, so resource loader dot load player. Hmm. Scenes entity player. Okay. And then y equals okay scene t dot instance. Okay. So what do? You don't have built-in explanation. Okay. I guess, get root, get node, test, actually, hang on. Get node self. Although I actually don't know if I want to add the child to the root, because the root is technically above test level. Okay, get tree, set current scene. Okay, nope. Non-existent function instance. That is not what I want. Okay, let's try this a different way. Go dot load a dot tscn into a scene via code. Interesting, it automatically adds the quotes by default. Fair enough. Equals var y equals t dot instance. Add child y. Non-existent function instance. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to spawn. I'm trying to just summon the player prefab directly into the test level via the script rather than generating it via code, because apparently we can't do textures via code. Instantiate. Okay, I can't spell. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, the thing I was looking up kept using instance rather than instantiate. Okay, so Godot pretends that the function doesn't even exist. Yeah, I noticed that. That was odd. Like, there were some things that just don't show up in the dropdown. Cannot call reparent on a null value. Okay, wait, test level play your scene player instance Godot doesn't want you to use the functions, or the autocomplete is just bad. I don't know why they wouldn't want you to use a function. I mean, it's designed to, like, give you access to fucking code and shit. Like, if you don't want me to use the function, just disable the function. Okay, so... Oh, wait, wrong level. Interesting. Huh. Slippery. Higher level control and code. A beginner might get confused, might break a lot of things due to lack of understanding. Only be available to people who know what they want and can find it. I feel, assuming that is the case, I feel that is very, very, stupid. If you have a lack of understanding, then you shouldn't be touching shit. And I feel like including the stuff in the dropdowns and also including explanations built in would help with the lack of understanding. So I don't think that's a very good argument, personally. Why are we slipping and sliding? Okay, this doesn't feel like the kind of thing that should be just in a, like, bound to a single level. That feels like it should be more dynamic, but we can fix it later. Okay, so I don't need this model and mesh code. You just have to rotate the input vector by the direction of the camera. Huh? And by direction, you mean, like, the place that the camera is looking? And the input handling direction times equal orbit rotation. Oh, wait, actually, what the heck does colon equal do? We've just been using that. I don't know what that does. In the input handling? The input handling is for moving the player, not moving the camera. Moving the player based on the camera. Oh, okay. I guess so. Direction. Escaped end of statement after variable declaration. Found times equal. What? I know, Yami. I was trying to avoid doing a new line. End of statement after variable declaration. Expected end of statement found times. Oh, I'm stupid. Assignment is not allowed inside an express. The fuck are you smoking? Oh, orbit not declared. Oh, I need to get child. Okay, so orbit is just a single degree lower, so that's just. Okay, well, something is causing movement to be fucked. And I'm just slipping and sliding all over the place. Maybe I renamed something improperly? Fucking wrong. No. Test level. Run. We have player, player body, player collision. Oh. Okay, root, test level orbit. Okay, so this stuff pre-exists. It gets moved to the player. Move the orbit and camera to the player scene. True. That's a good point. Excuse me? Excuse me? Godot, care to explain why I can't... Okay, so the camera and orbit no longer exists. Because apparently Godot is fucking stupid. I did Control X. And now it just apparently doesn't exist. I have a single line break in my clipboard. Yeah, cut and paste. No, you can. You just, the hotkeys are broken. Because if I do Control V, that just does set compress mode. So you have to right click and then paste. So yeah, the hotkey for paste is broken. Where the heck is hotkeys? UI paste, that should be Control V. Good morning exists. We're finding bugs. So, you can't cut and paste a node. You also, interestingly, you can't right-click to bring up the context menu just in the node tree. You have to actually right-click a node directly. Wait. Oh, okay, no, you have to have a node selected. I guess that's fair, because, like, this stuff is relevant to a specific node. Although I feel like maybe if you right-click nothing, it should just auto-select the root. Huh. Okay. Okay, well. Fortunately, it was a minor fuck-up. Okay, so this goes back to 0, 0. And then... I don't think the position of the camera actually matters, because we just immediately changed where it's located in the code. Position of the camera does matter? Really? We only change its rotation. Oh, okay. I thought this instantiate code also set it to its initial distance as well. Cannot call Oh, okay. I don't need to parent. We can set it to initial distance if you want. Probably beneficial if you want variable camera distance. I mean, it's starting to feel like if you can do something through code, it's oftentimes better to do it through code. Just so you have direct control of everything. It's just, then you have to actually manually manage everything. Would there be any merit to just giving the camera its own class? Because, I mean, it's used during cutscenes. The player has some control over it. It seems very, what kind of merit are you matching? I don't know. It seems like it has significant enough function that it should have its own isolated code. Because, like, the camera is a very important game object. Disable the camera from the player and add a new camera. Oh, Yeah, I suppose it's true. Or I suppose you could also, alternatively, like, add some sort of boolean here, so you can just disable camera control, and then just move the player camera. Adding things is often easier than changing things. OBS. Why is the YouTube live control panel being stupid? Did the camera-based input, I don't think so. No, I tried to run it, but then it got upset because I was trying to reparent shit that already existed. Okay, so class player. I need to double check that we're not reparenting anything else. Okay, well I can jump. Oh, okay. Okay, so the answer is no. Okay, so moving forward and backward does nothing. Moving left and right is still aligned to the world plane. I'm also moving a fuck ton slower than I was earlier. Oh? Um... Okay, so no. The character model's getting fucked, but also it's still moving relative to the world plane. What? Odd. Okay. I got distracted. I was looking at something. Okay. Nothing should be messing with the player's rotation. Okay, so the camera is set to look at that. Okay. If direction does not equal 0, global direction. Okay. Direction equals direction dot cross. Direction dot cross. Returns the cross product of this vector and width. This returns a vector perpendicular to both this and width, which would be the normal vector of the plane defined by the two vectors. As there are two such vectors in opposite directions, this method returns the vector defined by a right-handed coordinate system. Okay, I don't know what width means, but I'm stud. Okay, so okay, well, it's not aligned to the world plane. With another vector? What do you mean with another vector? Oh. Oh, that's fucking stupid. That is so stupid. That has got to be the dumbest syntax I have ever seen. That's not intuitive in the slightest. No. Calling it with is what I'm complaining about, not the vectors themselves. Okay, so that did something. Oh my goodness. Why is the fucking embed on Discord so inconsistent? Like, I send the same link, and there's like 2 different ways it can embed. I don't fucking get it. Too few arguments, expected 2, but received 1. Vector 3 and then an angle. Result, returning this vector around a given axis, rotating this vector around a given axis by angle in radians. The axis must be a normalized vector. One. Angle is apparently not a thing. Why is it a function? Yet, non-existent function angle in base vector 3. Orbit dot rotation. Remove the second orbit. You were saying to add the second orbit. Because rotated calls for 2 values. It needs the vector 3 and it needs a float. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some grapes. Be right back. chips have been acquired. Very good snack food. No, that does not seem to have done anything. Can I give you just a checkerboard pattern? I would like to be able to give you a checkerboard pattern. Okay, that at least gives a better sense of speed. X form? That's a new word. The flesh plane. Okay, so okay, neither of these want to give me explanation. Transform. Not declared. Oh. Oh. Cannot find member X form. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, I was just finding that same thing. What was Xform supposed to do before they just remove shit? Direction equals vector3 direction.x 0 0 direction.y rotated up get node. Okay, so it's rotating. Okay, so cut out the fucking z-axis. Or well, this would be setting the z-axis to the y-axis, and then rotated. Rotate around up. Currently trying to rotate the direction vector regardless of its actual direction to be aligned with the orbit. Huh. Okay, so I can't move forward or back, but left and right does follow the camera. You know, it would be really nice if it would stop raining. I've been trying to mow my lawn for like a week, and it just keeps raining. Excuse me. What happens if you... Oh. Hmm. Pushing forward and back gives values. Why am I moving to this side? Uh, nope, same. Nope, same. Okay, so normalizing. Okay, so up, down, and right all push me to the right. Left works as normal. Okay, so your issue is you were setting the z-axis to the y-axis for... I don't know why that was the issue, but that appears to be the issue. Because now it's doing what it should be. Do you still have the issue not being any systems? No? No, it seems to be fine. Although I don't know if that's because of something we changed here, or if it's because I swapped to a capsule collider. I shouldn't be jumping. Yeah, seems to just be working. Hey, we got rotation. You think Godot would have a template for this? Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm very surprised there isn't a just default 3D camera template. That's the wrong scene. You know what? Select current. Kind of like game dev, despite making it as beginner friendly as possible, it's still too hard for a beginner. Vector shenanigans is the great filter. Well, I mean, you don't really have to deal with vectors as much in 2D game, I imagine. Because it's just, the camera doesn't rotate in any capacity. I mean, unless you want to turn the map upside down. What? Steam. You're not gonna let me hit F12 to screenshot? Camera can rotate with the player in 2D if it's like asteroids or something? I suppose that's a good example. Okay, we have rotation, we have camera. Let's bring this a little further out. If your player is already perfectly centered, you can rotate the world instead. Yeah, but that seems like it would be more effort, processing-wise, than just rotating a single object, rather than orbiting everything around that object, and then changing their velocities to match. Gravity and speed and scale are kind of fucked. Yeah. Although, gravity and speed and stuff, that can be tweaked really easily. Actually getting the camera to function was much higher priority. Although we are currently snapping to the direction we're looking in a single frame. So maybe we can set player rotation to move towards the new direction over time. Most people teaching game dev make them out to be intimidating, be difficult, and thus rarely properly explain them. Well, I mean, a vector isn't that complicated. It's just fucking 2 points on a plane with an arrow pointing from one to the other. Okay, we're good. I just dropped some grapes on the ground and did not want to roll over them with my chair again. Okay, Okay, look at is just instantaneous. I'd like the rotation to be smooth. I was thinking about maybe something with move towards, but then we'd have to actually calculate the direction it wants us to move in. You know, one thing that's actually been a little surprising to me is I think the game dev streams are on average more popular than the gameplay streams. Like, at least in terms of people watching, not necessarily in terms of people chatting, but that's fine. But I guess it can be satisfying to watch something slowly come together. Okay, so current rotation equals get. Okay, so current rotation. Okay, so current rotation, target rotation, move towards, move from this to this. Function move towards not found in base self. Oh, this. Don't know by how many steps. And then same for the collision. Okay, we'll see what this does. People like contributing, learning, watching things form. I watch on TV and chat on my phone, so I may count as 2 viewers. Actually, I was always just looking at the current user list, not necessarily the viewer number, because the current user list has 5 people, including myself, but the viewer number only displays 3, so... I don't know if there's, like, latency desync or something. Trying to get a return method of a value that returns void. I beg your pardon? Rotation, move towards... Move towards, I thought was supposed to just be its own function. It's supposed to move from this value to this value by this amount every frame. Well, I guess every frame if it's in physics. After the look at... You need to do dot rotation. Oh, because fucking target rotation. Meh. Okay, player body rotation. Do it on multiple lines. Do what on multiple lines? Target rotate. Do the look at. Then target location equals get node player bot. Oh. Okay, so get the current rotation. So get current rotation, rotate to the new location, log that, and then move from the original to the new one by whatever. Fuck. Did they change how move towards works? Because previously move towards was just a standalone function that moved a value to another value by a certain amount. And this doesn't seem to have any documentation built in, so it won't even tell me what I'm doing wrong. Go dot move towards. Please fucking... Oh my goodness. quant load, or I'm gonna fucking move back to Google. You know, do get node dot rotation equals current or wait, after the look at. Oh, okay. Okay, so you log the new location, the new thing, and then you set it back to the original. Rotation dot move towards. Non-existent. Move towards doesn't exist apparently. See, I knew it. It's a standalone. It's not a dot function. It just is itself. Moves from to by amount. It's a dot function and a global one. Well, when I was trying to use it as a dot function, and it doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to exist. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, well, it's not rotating anymore. I guess maybe my delta is too small. No? Having a global function and a dot function with the same name is horrible. No, I absolutely agree. Especially when one of them doesn't even have a link to documentation. If the delta is too big, it still should... Even if the delta is too big, it should just be snapping to the new thing. Unless by it does not go over means that if it tries to go over, it just does nothing. No. Okay, current rotation, look at, target rotation, set back to original, and then wait. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, so set original, move, set original, move. Okay, well, I don't really think I need that one. Oh, hang on. I have an idea. I don't know if there's a way to just do self. Or if I have to actually just fucking copy paste this chonky ass thing. The old global scope move toward function is for fluence. Interesting. Cannot convert argument 1 from vector 3 to flow. A vector is just... But a vector is just a bunch of floats. Just let it work implicitly. And still doing nothing. Wait. Oh no, I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm rotating every axis except for the one that matters. Because the only axis we're actually rotating along is the y-axis. There we go. Although sometimes it gets a bit funky. Why are you getting funky? Oh no, it's still going instantly. Maybe this is too big? Okay, now it's not snapping instantly. Although it is getting a bit confused sometimes. Oh, okay. Okay, the issue is with like it when it looked like it was just like teleporting in a single frame. Pressing up on the analog stick, I guess it has like 0 degrees all the way around to 360. So like pressing down, wiggling back and forth, like looks. Pressing up. It's moving towards because it doesn't think that it can jump from 360 to 0. So it goes along the entire number line to get back to where I'm now pointing. Oh, that's hilarious. You can handle smooth rotation and animation. Yeah, I suppose this rotation is just placeholder. Although I would want the hitbox rotation to match... I want the collision to match the visual. Then capsule collider where all sides are the same. It's not going to be a capsule collider forever. Eventually, it's going to have an actual person. I mean, unless I want to just change course and make a different game where you play as a medical object. Just the player is just like a tiny pill. I'm tired. A little bit tired, but it's fine. Okay. Although it's very funny that it doesn't treat 0 degrees and 360 degrees as the same. Hmm. That edge case is handled by the dot function. But the dot function doesn't do anything. It doesn't have documentation anyway. Yet non-existent function, move toward and base float. And also, it can't implicitly assume 0 and 360 is the same, because that only matters for, like, radians and stuff. Like, I guess unless it can detect that I'm trying to fuck with rotation. Where are you getting this dot function from? Because as far as all of this is concerned, it doesn't seem to acknowledge that it's a thing. Vector 3 doc? Interesting. Hey, Yami, you, you could have sent the link in the chat. Links are re-enabled because programming. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Yami. I don't want viewbots. Viewbots are cheating. Vector 3, move toward. 2 vector 3 by a delta afloat. Interesting. Although if you click it... Oh, no, wait. Returns a new vector moved towards 2. Interesting. Then... if I get rid of this first one... Yep, non-existent function. Okay, well, that's not doing any rotation. Returns. Oh, that's why it wasn't doing anything. Fuck. But that doesn't save any space if I have to... If anything, it might be longer. And it doesn't even fix the issue. Okay, well, this is fine for now until we have a proper animation handler. Oh, would you look at that? We have a proper animation handler. Okay, I believe you mentioned something about making an attack. Because now we have a direction. So we can spawn a hurt box in front of the player. Although... I guess the quote-unquote front of the player would be their rotation transform. Player never gets rotated. Yes, it does. Only the subnodes. No, the player body Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, I was thinking the player as in the entity character. Yeah, so this is just basically more or less for raw position. I'd rather it not be jank. The orbit is parented to the player. Whenever you want to rotate the player, you need to rotate the orbit in equal and opposite direction. Well, I mean, you could fix that by potentially using more jank. Just make a higher up route, have the player and the orbit separately connected to that, and then every single frame set the orbit's position to the player. How is that any less jank than in... No, no, I'm saying you could avoid that by potentially using more jank. I was giving an equally jank alternative to your original jank alternative. Fixing jank with more jank, indeed. We have 15 paths, and all of them are horrible. You know, I am slowly coming to realize that the mentality of you can do anything with programming might not be completely accurate, because we are currently being heavily limited by the tool that is Godot. The world of Godot at player follow cam 3D. Yes, that would be amazing. Hmm. We're limited, we can stress them with coding control. You're trying to do this with prefab. What do you mean? Self dot rotation equals parent dot. I'm not following. I mean, we are using prefab. Partially. In the camera, if we weren't shenaniganing with get node, we would have to go to into each individual node and do the code there. Yeah, but I mean that's why they. I mean that's like we have a Git node. Why would we attach a script to everything? That sounds horrible. Attaching a script to everything was the intention, I think. That if that was the intention, that's massive, 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 massive oversight. That's terrible. Like, no, that would get so unwieldy so fast. Because, like, you would have to like, anytime you wanted to mess with something, you would have to reference this other script, use a signal, tell it to do something. If you attach a script to everything, you don't have to worry about whose child. You don't have to actually think about code structure. What? No, you still have to think about code structure. You have to know where your functions are. You have to know where your shit is. And you can't just be rotating or moving shit willy-nilly, because that will fuck up its children. So you still have to think about whose child. Okay. I think I want combat. I think it's time to murder some orbs. So okay, test enemy, test level. No. Stop. Stop dropping off my desk. Test enemy. Let's go ahead and make this bigger. Why are you not getting bigger? You're supposed to be a prefab. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's updated properly. So then if I go ahead and reset the scale, you should get small. What? Why? Oh, is scale like local? Transform might be local. That would make sense. Otherwise, your position would never be able to update. So what I should do instead is I should just make these bigger directly. A. Okay, so doop doop boop 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 doop boop boop boop. The easy way is often the one that leaves you lacking information. I mean, how? In what regard? Bonk, bonk. No, 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 no. Nice. Oh no. Oh no. Ah! Okay, so layers. Where's the collision layers? Okay, terrain, player. Looking for terrain, looking for player. So I tell you how to apply material, but not where it came from. Now you know the easy solution, but not how to get more. Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that's bad. Like, you don't necessarily need to know how to fish if you know where the market is. If the market explodes, then what? I highly doubt that's going to happen. Like, there's always going to be somebody that you can just pay to make the materials for you. Okay, so the layer is the what this exists as, and then this is what it will be interacted by. So pushed back by terrain, pushed back by player, and also pushed back by other enemies. Player, blah blah blah. And then terrain doesn't have to look for anything, I don't believe. Teach him. How to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. He will also eat for a lifetime if you set him on fire. Technically correct, indeed. Okay, so doop-a-dee-doo. Dakota doesn't have a basic 3D camera. I know it's insane. Maybe there's just something we're overlooking. Maybe it's just hidden. No, no, no. If there was a basic 3D camera, it would have been present in the templates. Why do you have luminosity? You should not have luminosity. Actually, I guess that's not necessarily luminosity. That's just how light works. But no. No, you are glowing. Oh, right, we have a sun over here. Yeah, but if I don't... I don't know. Okay. So we have enemy. Now we need to give the player a way to make the enemy stop existing. So I'm guessing it would be on a specific input, spawn a trigger area in front of the player for a certain amount of time. If the enemy rather is inside that trigger, delete the enemy from the scene. New function? Yeah. And then just in input handling, if input blah blah blah, run attack. Okay, so Okay, so area 3D probably. A new collision box to the player prefab? For what reason? The player doesn't need to detect enemy attacks just yet. Ooh, I should probably drink some water. I'm gonna go grab water. Brum, brum. Okay. New collision box, disable collision, attack function, is collision box intersecting with enemy. Oh well, you don't do a collision box for that. I think you would do an area. Yeah, this is explicitly for detecting other things. Oh, there's a lot of nodes. Area 3D. Hit area. This node has no shape. Collision shape. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it needs a it needs a collision shape. Anyway. Okay, so box for now. Okay, and then do. Okay, there we got. Okay, pretty big cube of death. Disable it by default. So attack. I guess in this instance, the attack function would just be enable this, wait a certain amount of time, and then disable it. What about bodies? I'm trying to figure out how to enable this. Oh, dot state maybe? No. Is enabled? Is physics interpolated and enabled? Hmm. I don't want physics on this. What? Why should it always be active? If it's always active, then it's always detecting shit. Wouldn't that, like, cause processing issues? On, like, a global scale for, like, a full game in the long run. It has a bool to turn it on and off. I thought that's what visibility was. Is visibility not the same as enabled? Oh, monitoring. Oh, it has an exclusive thing. Oh, okay. Get node hit area dot get overlapping is not a thing. Although I should learn by now that Godot doesn't care if something does or does not exist. Yeah, because nope, no documentation. It doesn't exist, but it still does exist. Um. Yeah, you have to actually declare what the type of array is. Huh? I thought you had to specify the type of array. You don't need to declare an array? That's interesting. Okay. That should be proper syntax. Okay. Why does it not autofill any of this shit? Starting to think I did this for loop incorrectly. For bodies and bodies. Yeah, I mean, you have to realize that if you just put text and then put a semicolon at the end of it, people are assuming you're talking about the meme format of like, oh, what just happened is what this thing is saying. It's not discrete. Yes, but the Pavlov. Go dot remove node from tree. Can't use backtick to denote code in Twitch chat. Well, I mean, you still can. It just won't have syntax. Too many arguments for. Oh, it's I.QFree. Okay, so the test enemy is type of enemy. The fuck you mean type of enemy? Enemy. Uh, oh. Oh, don't fucking show me it's. I want to know if it's character body. Oh. Okay, whatever. Okay, so attack, hit node active, get the shit, remove the shit. Yeah, it would not be a game dev stream without a conniption. Okay, so now this input handling is starting to get out of control. I know the attack function is never called. I'm doing that next. Call the attack function in the physics process directly. If okay, I suppose. Hopefully that doesn't break anything anywhere else. Okay, so if input dot action is action just pressed, project settings, input map, attack, fucking minimize, collapse all this shit by default, please. Wait, no, don't show built-in actions. Okay, attack. So, let's say just R1. Huh? Maybe put the if into the attack function. Maybe? I guess that could be renamed to, like, attack handler. Why is it not detecting my joypad? Okay. That. And then, I guess, E. E can be attack. Except, my fucking naming conventions is never going to be static. I need to just... Meh. It doesn't matter, but the code is structured cleaner. If the physics process just has functions that are handle X, you'll always find the relevant... Huh? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I suppose it's just like, this is the shit that is happening, and then you jump to this to see what it's actually doing. I know. You're good, Yami. I guess so. If... Okay, so on attack, Activate, check, delete, deactivate. Right. Okay. Sony R1. Why are you why are you not registering my controller? Okay. Listening for input. Pressing E also does nothing, so yeah, no, it's not running. Well, I suppose it's only visible for a single frame. Visible collision. Okay, where is these? You can fuck off. Okay, no, it is registering the R1. Character body 3D. Get overlapping air. It should still be get overlapping bodies. Because it's not an area. Okay, it's looking for enemies. Does the enemy have to be looking for something else? I don't know. Okay, here's an idea. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Okay, the collision is not being enabled. Like, just full stop. Oh. Now it's on. It's not doing anything. Okay, let's leave this just on by default. And it stops existing. Well, I mean, we should be able to see it because I have collision enabled. Yeah, it's this box right here. Okay, oh, okay, well, the box isn't rotating to stay in front of the player. But that's fine. It is monitoring. My guess is I wasn't looking. There we go. Okay. The issue was, I was looking to the left, but the box was previously just on top of me, so it wasn't actually reaching far enough to hit the enemy. Yeah, I set it back to overlapping bodies. So if we disable monitoring... Okay, so enable monitoring. Monitoring now false. Interesting. Interesting. It is not enabling the monitoring properly. If you want the hit area, just parent it to player body. Pog. Okay, but yeah, monitoring is not working. Is it this? Actually, I can just fucking highlight this. Set monitoring. Oh, okay. Improper syntax. Improper syntax. Fuck. In base null instance on a null instance. The fuck? Yeah, everything. Everything. Everything is always. Okay, let me do. Can I just? Can I? Can I? Okay, so you can skip the. I think this $sign is the quick syntax for Git node. So that's exact same thing, just less characters. Okay, well, it's... Meh. Just let me... Why do you need two different functions? Just let me do is monitoring as a value and just set that to true or whatever. Okay, so is there like a function that's like, oh, wait 1 frame and then proceed? Needs to see the box to register turning off and off again within a single function. It doesn't have time to check. How does it not have time to check? It runs the check. Okay, so do I need to just like fucking like wait? Is a wait a thing? Not a wait. Sleep. Go dot sleep function. Adding tracking which shapes enter and exist. It doesn't check every object every frame. But it should be checking everything inside. It should be checking if something is inside of it every frame. I guess I can set it to true and then maybe do like a while loop to just wait until it actually finishes setting it to true. In a function within a frame. Oh, so it only checks shit at the start of a frame? So because it's running, because the entire process happens within 1 frame, it never actually hits the predetermined point in time to check? That's stupid, but I suppose it makes sense. Personally, I would assume that it would check when I fucking tell it to check. I wish that Godot would, like, have autofill shit. Like, if I type while, it should just give me a template while loop, because I can never remember the formatting for this. So... I was looking at the doc. You cannot do what you are currently doing. Right now, I'm just wanting to wait until it actually finishes setting it to true. If that's the issue, if we're turning it off too fast. Return will cancel? Oh, is pass the one I want? Because I wanted to just do nothing and then just keep looping to just wait until the thing happens. Isn't time so that area checks for any object in the next frame will always be empty because it needs to register a new body. Then what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, unless there's a function that is just wait one physics frame. Like, if there's a sleep function, I could just do sleep for, like, delta or something. The way it's implemented is already as efficient as can. How is it already as... How is constantly checking every single frame as the most efficient? That seems like if you have every single area body always checking, that seems like it's going to build up process. It's not always checking, though. It only checks a body entering. It ignored the body until it leaves. But it's constantly checking. What I mean by it's constantly checking is it's checking every single frame to see if a new body has entered it. Unless I'm just misunderstanding how this works on the back end. It's usually wanted. Area 30 is also used for static spikes and shit. Yeah, but spikes are ever present. It's impossible to know when the player is going to hit the spikes. But like for something like an attack hitbox, like that should be easy to know exactly when it should be existing. Especially like if once we get to like enemy animations where like an attack hitbox only exists for like 5 frames or something. Yeah, I know animations. So we have to be able to turn it on and off. Oh, sorry, that was loud. The idea is that you just spawn a hit area when you need it and delete it when you're done. I suppose that makes sense. Although, yeah, because I suppose, like, say there's like fucking 50 enemies all in play at the same time. If you have all of their hitboxes present but just deactivated, that's still like hundreds of additional game objects. Like, even if they're not doing anything, they're still being processed for like position data and stuff. So it's probably more efficient to just create a new one and place it where you want it. You're also always constantly checking collision for the player hitting the ground. I suppose that is a thing that's happening. And this isn't even like what the player's actual attack states are going to look like. This is just learning how to do attack type stuff. This is just learning how to detect an enemy and then execute a code based on that enemy detection. Class entity HP I dot HP minus equals 5. Func HP check if HP is less than or equal to 0. Q free HP check. Huh? Is their default health 0? Yeah. 10. Fuck. That's not what I was going for. Oh. Well, apparently I broke something anyway. Oh, greater than. There we go. Okay, well, that works. Probably not the most eloquent solution. Yeah, no. Adding a specific function for receiving damage is absolutely better. I just wanted to test my idea to see if it was feasible. If I knew what I was talking about. Thinking about, rather. Function die. Would take damage be a void? I don't necessarily know that it's returning anything. It's just taking inputs and modifying shit. Yeah, I know. I know there's the input. Okay, so HP minus equals input. And then player. It doesn't return anything. You can be funny and make it return something if you want. You can make it return a bool if the enemy is immune, doesn't take any damage. Return a false. So in player you go if false, play bounce off. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, so for ion bodies, I dot take the fuck. Yeah, fucking take autofill this shit. Fuck. Ooh, that's a good point. If HP is less than or equal to 0, HP equals 0. Wait, but then that's gonna be recursive. Yeah. I suppose it doesn't matter if their health goes into the negative if they're dying instantly anyway. Okay, so I imagine eventually we're gonna have a function that's just called damage handler, which has like an input for all of the stats of the attack and an input for all of the stats of what is getting hit. Take damage function means you also, after applying damage, you go play hurt animation. And that makes sense. So I guess I could have an input. The amount of damage. And like fucking like position plus position dot y plus equals whatever for like, oh no, I got knocked up into the air. And yeah, I don't think I need to make health into a float. Because like for health type stuff, a small float and a large integer is exactly the same thing. It's just, oh, do you want to have the decimal place in there for aesthetic purposes? Okay, get rid of you, get rid of you. I have to think a lot about metaprogramming. Do I need to apply the damage in the player or in the enemy? Hmm. I can see a damage formula being particularly complicated if you have a bunch of different damage types. And then you have all the defenses, all the resistances, item effects. That's gonna be fun to build. Huh. Brain, stop freezing up. Because it's starting to feel like the code is already getting a little bit out of whack and could be better optimized. Because like we have so many different functions. The goal would be function hit, attack class, function receive it, status damage. Fuck. I'm sorry, brain. Class attack class contains status damage, health damage, etc. Then in the hitting and receiving hit. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's happening with my brain right now. I'm not following any of this. It's just words going in one side and out the other. I think maybe it just feels weird because we have a lot of placeholder shit that is going to get replaced. Because like this is gonna eventually get replaced by like just an actual damage formula. Calendar function. Instead of applying a flat integer, you would go I.receive attack.new self. Self? What? Okay, the attack.new is a new instance of the attack class. Fuck, maybe I did not get enough sleep last night. Okay, yeah, I think I might actually call stream a little bit early today. Because I do have enough time left before work that I can get another hour. And I would like to have that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go back to sleep. Thanks to all the everyone's. Just go to bed, it's healthier. Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice to live by. Okay. Bye bye, have good days.